Hi everyone! Welcome to another special program of American Girls. So today we have a fun little program all about a certain girl. But in order to start, we need to figure out who that girl is. So before every program, I'm going to give you a few facts about a girl and see if you can figure out which American doll it is. Are you ready? Okay. She lives in Philadelphia. She was Girl of the Year in 2017. She was born in 2006. She has a stuttering problem, and she uses spoken word poetry to help. She loves dancing, like hip hop and tap and ballet. She lives with her cousins and her parents. Do we know who it is? Dun, dun, dun. If you guessed Gabriella McBride, then you are correct. So Gabrielle is a very awesome girl. She was the Girl of the Year in 2017. And this book is a story about how she learns more about poetry and how it helps her release her feelings, especially when her beloved community center is set to be shut down. She comes together with friends and through poetry kind of overcomes it. And this is a special, extra special kit because this month you actually get a copy of this book all for yourself. So I hope you will enjoy the wonderful story about Gabriella and her friends in here. All right. Now this month for American Girls, our project is going to be about poetry. So I know that sometimes poetry can make us nervous. It makes me nervous because I'm not very good at it. But the great thing about poetry is that there's no good or bad. It's really just expressing how you feel. And today, we are going to learn a little bit about haikus. So haikus are a special type of poetry. It's a traditional Japanese form of poetry. And the great thing about these types of poems are that you don't really have to rhyme, but it's very specific. They're usually made up of 3 lines, and in each one, there's a certain amount of syllables. So before I go any further, I wanted to just go over syllables with everyone. So a syllable is how many beats there are in a word. And by beats, I kind of mean kind of like claps. So we're going to practice a little bit on syllables. So we have some words here, and we're going to see how many syllables there are in each word. And I think if you don't already know about syllables, you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. So we're going to clap along. Ready? Moon. So when you hear the word moon, how many syllables are there in? Ready? Moon. So there's 1 syllable in moon. Let's try another word. Star. Ready? Star. So there's only 1 syllable in star. Let's try another one. Let's do my name, Miss Erin. So Erin. Ready? Erin. So there's 2 syllables in Erin. Let's try another one. This one's a tough one. Ready? Hippopotamus. Ready? Hippopotamus. Hippopotamus. So there's 5 syllables in that one. That's a lot. Let's get that one. Gabriella. 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 So there's 4. Are you getting the hang of it? It starts to make more sense now, doesn't it? So, back to haikus. Haikus are special because there's a certain amount of syllables in each of the 3 lines. There's 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second line, and 5 again in the third line. So it goes 5, 7, 5. Okay? Now, a great thing about haikus is that a lot of haikus are meant to be about nature or seasons and kind of expressing feelings and specific words about those things. So as you all know, I love Harry Potter with everything I am. So I wrote a few haikus about the different seasons at Hogwarts. So let me read a couple to you and we can count the syllables together. Are you ready? This one is about fall. Okay, ready? I gotta have my cheat sheet. Okay. You can clap or you can use your hands to count the syllables. So let's do the first line first. Ready? Cold begins stirring. 5 syllables. Next. Boats filled with students appear. That's 7 syllables. Finally, last line. Troll in the dungeon. 5. So it's 5, 7, 5. And I use certain words to think of fall. Cold. The students are coming to Hogwarts. Professor Quirrell found that troll in the dungeon. So this is to embody fall in the Hogwarts. Hogwarts in the fall. Okay. Let's do one more. Ready? Let's do this one. I think this one is spring. Ready? Whomping willow stirs. Owls flutter through the great hall. Magic spells float by. So 5, 7, 5. And that one is all about the air and the nature and all the things that happen in spring at Hogwarts. So you kind of get the idea a little bit. So I think it'd be great if you guys came up with your own haikus about anything you want. It can be about nature or seasons. It could be about something you love, like Harry Potter. It could be about anything in the world, food or dancing or anything. But remember, the only thing is it's 3 lines and the syllables are 5, 7, 5. Do you think you can do it? Okay, good, because we're going to need to have one of your poems for one of our crafts we're doing today, okay? All right. Let's move on to the craft. Okay, so for our first craft today, we are going to be making tissue paper postcards, and we're going to write our poems on it, okay? So this is what mine ended up looking like, if you can see. Okay, so what you should have in your kit is a postcard, a little sponge, and some pieces of tissue paper of all colors. What you're going to need is something to put under your postcard and a little bit of water. Not this much, you'll only really need a little bit. Okay, so the great thing about this craft is that if you have a white crayon at home and you want to do it again, you can actually get little images like I have on mine of these white leaves. All I did was I took my postcard and I drew crayon of leaves, and anything that has the crayon on it is not going to be dyed by the tissue paper. So I already did the postcards for you guys, so these are going to have leaves like mine does. But you can see it if you look really close and you do it like this in front of your face. But if you want to do more at home, all you need is a white crayon. You can do any design you want yourself, okay? So this is a really simple and easy one. You just lay your postcard down, and I just want to warn you guys that the tissue paper really does dye. So you want to keep it on here, and you want to like fold up your sleeve so that it doesn't get dyed on anything. I had my fingers dyed a little bit for a little while, but that's okay. Okay, so you're going to pick colors you like, and you're just going to put them all over your postcard. Any way you want to do it. You just want to cover all the ground, like some blue, orange, red, more green. So you're going to do that over your entire postcard. And then you're going to take your little sponge and dab it with a little water, not too much. And then you're just going to start dabbing, and you'll see it soak through onto your postcard. It's really easy. Have a little more water. And some colors are going to dye a little bit better than others. So you might have to do this a second time just to clean up the spots where it might be a little bit just white, like the color's not going through. So once you do that, and it looks like you've dabbed the whole thing with water, it works best if you just let it dry until you feel the tissue paper and it feels dry. But I'm going to show you a little bit what it looks like. So you can see my red has gone through, not completely. So that's another one where I just might need to dab it a little more. You can kind of see my orange didn't go through completely. Just might need a little more water on that. But you see that it's kind of going through. And once you dry, it'll work a little bit better. So can you see my leaf coming out a little bit? And the tissue paper all over. And like I said, if you finish and you let it dry and there's missing spots, all you have to do is put another piece of tissue paper over it, dip in your water again, and just fill in those spots and wait for it to dry. Some of the lighter colors might be harder. Let's see if that worked. Like that one. That one may not work as well, so you might want to use a different color. But after you finish and you let it dry completely, what you're going to do is you're going to take a marker of any color you want. Darker might show up a little better. And then I want you to write down your haiku onto your postcard. So I wrote my Spring at Hogwarts haiku right here. And now I can hang up my postcard or send it out to someone and send out my poetry. So that is craft number 1. And this is a great one because you have a lot of these materials at home. So this is something you can actually do on your own, and it's really inexpensive, easy, and fun. And then the next thing you should have is a couple of sheets of paper from a book that was old. So what I'm going to show you is Blackout Poetry. Now this is really fun because what you do is there's different ways you could do it. You can take this page, circle a few words you like, or try to make a story through it. So I have an example here. What I did is I took this page and I circled words I like. So I circled story, intricate, important, dutifully, opened, false, tucked, discovery, heroes, a villain, theories, dragons, explanation, shrinking, narrow, needed. So I just looked at the page. I liked those words, so I circled them. And then I went through and I took a Sharpie and I just crossed out every word that wasn't in there. And so now, after I erased the circles I made, I just have this blackout poem of words I liked on this page. Now you can do it where you want to make sentences out of it. So you could be like, I don't know, his secrets stormed out saying goodbye. So I made my own sentence, and then I could block out all the other words, so it'll just say his secret stormed out saying goodbye. But you can do anything you want. You can circle words you like fluorescent, rafters, different, any words you like, or any way you want to do it, and then you just simply block it out. And that is blackout poetry. So it's another form. So today we learned all about haikus and blackout poetry, and you have 2 crafts you can work on. All right, this is fun. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.